English didn't kick one. I don't know where I dragged that from.
No, didn't.
Athletic kick one or not? That's the one I'm missing. Athletic kick to go.
It's Fred Bills, accompanied by some adoring fans, going back towards the bench, and no doubt that he'll be hoping that he can have a run, however brief it may be, to celebrate his final game with the club, his 313th. And he went, of course, very close to Lindsay Head's record of 327 games, not only with West Torrens a record, but a state record as well. But Coach Noel Teasdale, as much as he might like to give him a run, is perhaps caught in an unenviable situation in that West Torrens only lead by 10 points. They badly need the win today to give them their second for the year, and he can hardly give it to him as a courtesy. That's how I see it anyway. Wally, your thoughts?
No, they couldn't do that, and you know, it's hard lines for Freddie Bills, but it's win games or miss out, and they haven't won too many, and Fred Bills would understand that.
And what I didn't say, of course, and I thought viewers would know, but they wouldn't unless they'd been viewing this game all day, is that Dirk Inglis, the other reserve, came on in the third term and played so very well. He's done excellently at centre half forward, given West Torrens something to kick to. So there's only the one reserve left on the bench, Freddie Bills. Start of the final term here at Thebarton Oval, in the match of the day, West Torrens and West Adelaide. Torrens lead.
Mano there after Mackenzie got the tap. Norm Dare knocked the ball to the ground, and the free kick goes to Norm Dare. No one on his mark, no one checking him, so he takes full advantage of that.
10 points the difference, Torrens lead.
Drives it down ground, looking for Homan, couldn't find him. Beswick. Tackle too high, said Bennett. Play on. Beswick away. Drives it towards a half-forward flank. Dabrowski, good mark, Big Barry Mackenzie. Mackenzie indicating he's going to go around the grandstand side. It's just where he's kicked it to, right in the area there of Inglis, who got underneath it too much. Stevenson behind. Inglis picked it up quickly and drove it forward. Raggett couldn't get there. Humphrey over the top. Inglis met heavily. Wallace there as well. And Bennett said, I'll take control of that. Number 6 was Big Mackenzie, not Mackenzie, Big Bruce Stevenson, of course. Played with Hawthorn before coming to West Adelaide. Dexter Kennedy got that. White, who'd be very high on the Seiko watch. Raggett down there. Keith Kuhlman. Last year finished the season in a blaze of glory in that fullback position.
Wally, to my mind, West Torrens are going better than West Adelaide, and I'll be surprised if they don't take this one out here at Thebarton, despite the fact they only lead by 10 points at the moment.
Yes, I'd have to agree with you. The big fellow are not going well. He's a player that hasn't given up love day, but makes a mistake then.
Line kick around the corner. Mano over there. Mano takes it. He plays on quickly. Good kick across. Filkey holds it. Filkey feels he can kick to distance. Well, I don't suppose it's beyond him either, but by gee, that's not a good kick. Put too much effort into it. Good body work there from Terry Homan. Takes the mark. Well, this is quite an acute angle. He's kicked 2 behind so far. Be a great morale booster if he got this. Oh, got him too close to Kenny Deards then. That's a bad mistake. Taken forward. Folletic in trouble. Cross is the opportunity. Raggett flicks it clear. Folletic tackled, put out of play, but no. Umpire Bennett says that Folletic was tackled after disposal and will get the free kick.
I feel that West Torrens, if they could get a goal at this stage, would just about seal it up. I think you'd see West Torrens bottoms hit the ground from here, because they'd be trailing by 2-4, and the way they've played today, I doubt whether they could bridge the gap again. They've done it once, but only for brief period.
Folletic's kick goes right towards the edge of the square, and the mark paid to Joe Humphreys.
He dropped it. Be surprised. Shifted from centre half forward, running on the ball, and he's in the back pocket at the moment. He goes for distance.
Goes on the defensive side too, which is the correct way. Taken there by White. White over. Folletic trapped it well, knocked it on. Good football over towards Casson. Casson across, still battling for possession of the ball. Battled against great odds and got the free kick. And Johnny Casson would be fairly happy with that. In fact, he's so pleased that he's tucked the ball under his arm.
Yes, his usual style is run on, play on, but He's gone back. He's going to enjoy this kick. Dropped out of the game since we believe being reported in the second quarter. Half-time, he's died completely out of it.
Kick down ground. Bad mistake there by Kuhlman, but picked up by Deards. Deards kicked towards a half-back flank. Behind was White, taken there by McKenzie. Changes direction, forces it across towards Feletic. Feletic, the tackle was very high, and Feletic gets the free kick. Ducked his head into it, admittedly. Twisted his ankle as he came out as well. And that'll be bad luck because Feletic's performance today has been consistent.
West Torrens making all the play at this stage, and if they continue to play in front, they must win this one here at Thebarton.
Feletic. It's a good kick for a man that's twisted his ankle right towards the square, but marked in defence is Dexter Kennedy. Let's see where he's going to kick. He's going to come down the grandstand danger side again, but this time it's all right because Grimwood is allowed to mark. Grimwood on towards Daryl Hewitt, and he's taken the mark too. Against some tough opposition from Norm Dare. Daryl Hewitt plays on. Forward. Dabrowski, Joe Humphrey, Pabst, McKenzie, Morris, Dabrowski, holding the man without possession of the ball. Jeff Morris. Oh, bad kick. Really bad kick there. That's not a league footballer's kick.
Trying to kick 100 miles, and they know they can't do it, and nearly out of bounds on the full. Very lucky that it wasn't. Half forward, Frank. West Adelaide in attack.
And Robin Bennett coming under plenty of criticism from the West Torrens supporters. Daryl Hewitt through. Drives it down towards centre half forward. Bad mistake there by White. Taken by Donaldson. Donaldson has a shot at the goals, but he's kicked it out on the full.
I'll say this about Robin Bennett. He hasn't made 1/4 of the mistakes of some of these players here at Thebarton today. It's not his fault that the game has deteriorated to the standard that it has on 2 or 3 of the quarters.
I'd agree with that, Max. It'll be an extremely difficult game to umpire. Players making mistake after mistake after mistake, packs all over the place, and he's tried to be fair with it. Milan Feletic running on the ball again now from centre half forward has taken that mark.
Feletic will drive towards the centre wing. Dabrowski, good work, knocked it away, kicks it away. Daryl Hewitt breaking clear, driving it deep towards the square. Gurney's down there, and he should mark and does.
Now, he's not usually a very good kick from this distance. When I say this distance, it is about 15 metres, which is not very far. But they tell me, those people close to the club, that he misses them week after week. Let's have a look at this one because it's very vital. 1 point. Thank you very much. Wally May, your comment.
How can you? 15 metres out, you're 10 ports behind, you take a tremendous mark, and you can't kick straight 15 metres. Not A-grade football, that's all I can say about it.
Pavlik, after those comments from Wally May, drives towards a half-back flank. 2 West Adelaide players up, 1 West Torrens player down, and umpire Bennett picked out a free kick and kicking in danger. I reckon it's the wrong way.
It's gone the wrong way, yeah. He gave it against Casson.
It was against Casson, and umpire Bennett had a lapse in concentration then. Loveday towards the square. Buckley has a snap at the goals. 1 point.
1 point, 10-7. They've kicked a couple of points from 15 metres out. They should be in front, West Adelaide. They're doing all the attacking, but they're doing nothing at all with the ball. 11-9 Torrens, 10 goals, 7 West Adelaide.
Torrens 1-2 in front. McKenzie. Grimwood back over the shoulder, looking for Donaldson. Down go a pack of players. Taken away there by Scott White. Scott White towards the centre wing, looking for Wallace. Wallace got in front there. Burns first to recover. Wallace comes back. Now it's Burns. Michael Burns. It must have been close to being out of play, and he was out of play. Boundary umpire will return it outer side of the oval, right in front of the scoreboard at West Thebarton, which reads, there we are, 11-9 to 10-7, 75-67. Can Torrens hang on long enough? That's the question. It's 7 minutes into the last quarter. Dexter Kennedy. Big McKenzie looks to be slowing down a little bit. He's performed well today. Forward. Pabst. That was Humphrey, not Pabst. Dabrowski. Dabrowski forward, looking for Dare. But behind is Loveday. Loveday has won this encounter now. On it goes. Peter Kelly, desperation written all over him. Well played, Peter Kelly. Down it goes. Finds Forbes. Not Forbes at all, Terry Homan. Forbes, of course, was replaced in the third quarter by Dirk Inglis, who performed very well. Filkey knocked it clear and out of play. Couldn't take the mark, so perhaps that was the best thing to do.
8 points the difference. West Torrens leading, 8-minute mark, final term. Ian Aitkins, your caller, you're viewing on 9.
Inglis couldn't get the kick in. Casson over there holding the ball, said the crowd. It wasn't. Richard Mano over there as well. Dirk Inglis. Umpire Bennett's let play go on plenty of times today. Dabrowski, big booming thump away. Dexter Kennedy there, couldn't control the ball. Terry Homan clicked blindly. That was too high against Joe Humphrey, and a relayed free kick goes down ground. It'll be taken by Dirk Inglis.
Joe Humphrey just got one behind the play too, but it was only a glove pat.
Here's the opportunity for Wallace, but the ball bounced awkwardly and out of play in the right full forward pocket.
8 points of difference. West Torrens in front and hanging on. Inglis, the player that's made the difference, is going to go for this hit out. He's down at centre half full.
Stevenson will also contest that throw in. Inglis couldn't control it effectively. Deards picked up and will be cleared by Kuhlman. Kuhlman's kick in towards the centre position. Peter Kelly over the top, fisted it away. Back he goes after possession of it again. He'll go in and shepherd a teammate, which he did very cleverly, and a great smother there by Humphrey. Knocked over, does Cousins, does that very well. Round the corner goes a little kick, and umpire Bennett has picked out a free kick, and it'll favour Homan against Joe Humphrey for legging.
The second time in 2 minutes, he's not only had a shocking day, but he's giving away free kicks at a psychological moment.
Homan's kicked forward, and it's been marked there by Casson. Casson, who in the first quarter kicked 4 goals. He came in for plenty of punishment after that, and there's Folletic. Uncontested, and Casson unselfishly gave it over towards Folletic. Now Folletic must kick this goal. As far as West Torrens are concerned, of course, as far as West Adelaide are concerned, he mustn't kick the goal. But the distance is there. But the accuracy is not too good. In fact, it's not a good kick. Through for one behind.
9 points of difference, and West Torrens back into attack now. They had a lapse there for the first 5 minutes of this game, but they've come back into it. But stupid football by some of the West Adelaide players, giving away free kicks. Joe Humphrey, this type of stuff can only get you beat.
Kick away from Kuhlman. Big mark there by Humphrey.
He's running on the ball, changing in the back pocket with Hayes, and there's a change. Hayes on the ball and in the back pocket.
Towards centre wing, Dabrowski. Ball on the ground. Dabrowski trying to battle his way clear. Jeff Morris tries to bounce away. Homan rode that bounce very well. That was a darn good effort from Homan as he drives it deep. Casson, Deards attempted to knock the ball away, and Johnny Casson will get another free kick. Looks as though he's hurt his ankle as he came down. John Casson was recruited from Essendon. The first quarter kicked 4 goals. Fiery customer. He had his number taken in the second quarter. Whether he's reported or not, we don't know, but the number was certainly taken. And Casson's in a lot of trouble on that ankle as he drove it down towards the square. Over the top was Dirk Inglis. It looked like a mark in front. Have to wait for umpire Robin Bennett's decision to let us know what it is, and it's a West Torrens mark. It's been taken down there by David Rackett by the look of it, and another West Torrens player who is limping on his ankle, and there's Johnny Casson on the ground with that ankle, and he's in a fair amount of pain. Let's have a look now as Rackett lines up the goals.
Freddie Bills having a warm-up on the side.
Rackett's kick, through.
And that will be enough for West Torrens to win this one at Thebarton, and that's the end of the road for the West Adelaide side for season 1975. They can start building for 1976.
Freddie Bills warming up on the sideline as Johnny Casson will certainly come off, and that's teaser.
Rackett's second goal, and I would have to agree, even though there's 12.5 minutes only gone in this quarter, West Adelaide have got to do something miraculous, and the players haven't showed that they can do just that. Freddie Bills is on the ground. The stretcher goes out to Casson. That's a bad way for Casson to leave the ground. He's played well until he was upset at half-time and hasn't been cited much since then.
Good psychological move by Coach Noel Teasdale there in picking that precise minute to bring Bills on the ground, because he got a tremendous ovation.
20 men on the ground, I think. There's going to be a count.
Bobby
my heavens.
Bob
When
Love,
it's
yes,
19.
there is. Bob Loveday walked across to
19, I
Robert
should
Bennett
say, not 20, and this will
asked
be
to
good.
count.
Well, West Adelaide could face the position here of having West Torrens score annulled, and what a sensation this is going to be, and there's no doubt in my mind as to what the correct decision would be, because Casson was definitely on the ground. He's just being carried off now, and the boundary umpires are rounding all the players up as a couple of them went to head towards the bench. And oh, by heavens, there's going to be some bad feeling over this one, because West Adelaide are going to win. But what a way to win a game, Ian.
Yes, but remember this, if this goes against West Torrens, it's the second time that they've made a mistake where they've allowed this to happen. They know the rules, but it's been discussed on Channel 9 Football Show before. No doubt about it, and the mistake is definitely a West Torrens mistake, if that is the case. There's Johnny Casson, there's Noel Teasdale. And Noel Teasdale is evidently not aware, and there he is. He's telling a player to go off the ground.
But there's a player coming off the ground. Look,
And,
the West Adelaide players trying to push him back on. There will be trouble if they don't hurry up and do something about it. They've got it. There's the players running off the ground all over the place.
And they're trying to get down into the race. There's no way.
Hello, Penny Dare's just had a throw. And they'd want to get the police down there fairly quickly, because these scenes are not very pleasant. And there's Noel Teasdale. Noel Teasdale instructing his players what to do. And let's see what happens.
Wow.
And there was a spectator or an official struck in the race by a West Adelaide player.
But meantime, what's happened? Because he doesn't look as though he's going to conduct a count.
I think he's given it up.
Well, what's happened? Because he was asked to. There was no doubt about that.
And in actual fact, that might be the smartest thing to do as far as saving...
Well, there's no count, and I tell you what, Loveday is still arguing with the umpire and saying that there was player on the ground by 19 players. What can I do? Since the hand action of umpire Bennett, he's going to bounce the ball and go on with the game.
Unless the instruction come from the West Adelaide bench not to proceed with the count. Now, that is the only possibility, that somebody may have stepped in from the bench and said, we don't want to win a game this way. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's a possibility.
John
but
Hayes
if the umpire's been asked to count, surely a count should be taken.
And
there's 3 policemen with one of the officials. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a civil charge made after this. Kicked away there by Hewitt. Daryl Hewitt was. I'll tell you what, it'll be an exciting 15-minute closure, I can guarantee you that, as White takes the ball down towards the square. And this game is full of life as Freddie Bills goes through the pack, tries to gain possession of the ball. He's got it. The ball is held to him, dropping the ball. Well, that's bad luck, my friend, but it's the right decision. Kevin Beswick. Could be a bit of spite in the closing end of this game. Channel 9 have got it here on film, the lot.
Hayes is off. Number 26 is on, and that's Boston.
Grimwood bouncing his way clear as Freddie Bills chases him. Over it goes, taken across there by Kellett. Kellett on the outer side of the oval as he thumps it down towards centre-half forward. Dabrowski will be opposed by Pats. Good mark there, Henry Dabrowski. He's played very well this afternoon, and we'd be high on that Seiko award.
in fact, he's got my vote.
Dabrowski's kick. Not good. Lost. Daryl Hewitt. And he just grabbed at the thigh as it goes down ground. Marked in defence, and it's taken there by Peter Cousins. Well, we'll have plenty to say about this match tomorrow on the Channel 9 Football Show, which starts at 12 o'clock under the hosting of Max Hall. Kick around the corner. And now it's been taken by Cousins. Over it goes. Back it goes and thumped down ground by Noonan.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh, Inglis ran straight into the back of him, and it hurt, and there's 15 metres, so it was seen by the umpire.
And it's the centre-half back in Bruce Stevenson.
Yes, falling mark, and then crashed into him.
We'll have Brian Colby, incidentally, in tomorrow to our football show, having played his 200th game for the Bays.
Marked there by Kellett. Had a very quiet first half. So a couple of useful things since then, though. Down towards centre-half forward. Pabst, another quiet player in the first half. And he's come back much more strongly in the second half.
Yeah, shifted to centre-half forward. His short passes out, and he's found the player.
Boston, Bobby Boston. Short little kick over from Boston. Buckley has the ball knocked away from him. Around there is Hewitt. And Hewitt. A goal.
Yes, number 9. Well done, Hewitt, then. He really wanted to win this football match. There's a lot of people that do not know what's going on, but I'll tell you what, he's kicked his 4th goal then. He wanted to kick a goal. He wanted to get his side going. There's a bewildered Loveday in the middle of the ground. He asked for a count when 19 men were actually on the ground. No doubt about that. Fred Bills went on. There's been no count. Nobody knows what to do. Hewitt says, well, look, let's kick goals and we'll win it the proper way.
9 points pursues Milan Folletic.
Well, 9 points the difference. Only 9 points now. West Adelaide trailing by 9 points. They're in trouble. They can't get going. They've only led a couple of times in this match and they don't look like getting out of it.
West Torrens have led for 9/10 of the players. It's pushed forward here by West Torrens through Terry Homan towards centre half forward. Burns in the front spot. Gets pushed in the back. He'll get the free kick in this particular spot. Done quite a good job for West Adelaide. Swings it wide towards Kevin Beswick, a very quiet player. He should work the handball on, but decides to kick instead. A very high punt kick, as he always does, to the centre of the ground. Pabst in the front spot. Loveday read it quite well, but it bounced off the feet of Dare there. Handball across. Back to Mano. Mano's kick towards centre wing. Milan Folletic again. Another one who'd have to be very high.
Dexter Kennedy in trouble too. He'll have to be taken off the ground on a stretcher, I reckon.
Well, that's further bad news for West Adelaide. The original bad news is they look as though they're going to lose this one at Thebarton. Well, that's the feeling I've got. Anyway, as Homan puts West Torrens forward to centre half forward. Again, it's Burns, and he's doing a lion-hearted job in opposition to Wallace. He's had the better of that player. Wallace has had a pretty quiet one for him to the centre of the ground. Punched down in front. Quite well read here off the pack. And a legging decision will have to go the way of West Torrens as the West Adelaide player there, and Bobby Buston gave the free kick away.
There's a player
Dexter
taken
Kennedy
off. Yes.
Here's the kick by Browski towards centre wing, and not Filkey, Milan Folletic. He spilt it. Cousins with a handball across. Finds his teammate, West Torrens Homan. Homan's kick to the half-forward line. Dirk Inglis couldn't quite pull it down.
And he stopped Inglis. He attacked. Oh, goodness me, what a game. Stevenson held from behind, attacked from the front by Inglis, gets the free kick. Had to get it.
Oh, he's pulled his kick. It's a bad one. It's gone straight towards Milan Folletic, almost as if he tried to pick him out. It's a game that's been studded with errors today here at Thebarton. That should be a 15-metre penalty.
It should be too, you know. That's Robin Bennett just nodded his head, said, no, thank you, I will not enforce the rule.
He was thrown from one West Adelaide player to the other and then not thrown back on the full.
Folletic's kick down towards centre half forward, looking for Inglis, finds Inglis and Stevenson. Ran 2 or 3 metres over the mark, and Robin Bennett now telling him to go back. Inglis. Not a good game this, you know. If Alan McGilvray was commentating this, he'd probably say something like, well, it's not one of the best, but there've been some really good things to come out of it. The best game I've seen, but not the worst. Towards the half-back flank. Perhaps the intense pressure that West Adelaide are under are contributing to this game. Inglis.
Only 4 minutes away from the time on period, Ian.
15 metres. Stakes galore. Inglis now going towards a little bit further towards the goals. Now, if he can kick, he will make the distance, but his last kick wasn't too good, so bear that in mind. Inglis. This is a better looking kick. It goes right towards the square. In fact, it goes right through, so second time round is lucky time round.
And that is it.
No doubt about that in my mind. That's it. West Adelaide have stopped to a walk. There are players trying to get off the ground. Grimwood's trying to get off. They're a man short at the moment. All replacements are on, and they're in all sorts of trouble. They can't win it. West Torrens have played the better football. They deserve to win. They've been a better side since Inglis has gone to centre half forward, and he's been an attacking player since he's been there early in the third quarter.
Lee Ravrich has come onto the ball for West Adelaide, runs into the back there of Freddie Bills. He goes down in a tangle of legs, and I think the old campaigner, much with the delight of the crowd, is going to get a free kick. And there it goes, wide to the half-forward flank, looking for Dirk Inglis, running with the ball. Blocked there by 2 West Adelaide opponents. Homan goes in towards the goal, and it looks good as it comes off the boot. Through it goes, and there's no doubt about it. West Torrens have won their second game of the year. second in a row after losing the first 13 of the season, and in doing so, they've put paid, I feel, to any chance that West Adelaide may have had of competing in the final 5.
Homan's done extremely well. He's had 18 kicks for the game, and he's had 9 in this quarter. And the 9th one went straight through the centre for the goal that makes all the difference. So West Torrens now running away with this game. West Adelaide stopping to a walk. There's not a player at all putting any heart into his business, and they've just stopped, and it's all over by the shouting.
Back with umpire Bennett. Mackenzie, who's rucked very well. Thought he was Pancho Gonzalez the way he wound up for that one. Down towards Inglis. On towards Wallace. Couldn't handle it. Woof, down he went, thank you. Freddie Bills forces his way through. Has 2 stabs at it. Has a third. He could get player of the day in a minute. There's Noonan, the free kick to go to Jerry Noonan.
Noonan, a player that knows what to do with the ball. He's kicked 4 goals. I think he'll kick his 5th. He's a nice, easy player when he kicks the ball. He's had 17 kicks, Noonan. He's kicked 4 goals, and that's a pretty good effort and would put him high in the award for the Seiko watch as far as I'm concerned, because somebody had to kick them and he's done some of it. Nice easy action, 5 goals. Jerry Noonan, and one of the best players on the ground without any doubt. Well, West Torrens now winning it easily against the West Adelaide side that, well, I never thought I'd see a Foss Williams side turn it up, but they've turned it up, they've stopped, they do not want to win, they're not even out there, you can count them, but they're not trying 1 inch.
Back with umpire Bennett.
Very disappointing year for West Adelaide, a side that were in 5th position for nearly 2/3 of the season, at least a half of the season, and will now finish probably down around 7th or 8th.
There's Wallace. After Mackenzie did that the previous centre bounce down, Wallace works through, drives it deep in towards the square, looking across there for Rackett, but out of play. Time on. 27 points the difference. West Torrens in front.
West Adelaide, a low side with a high overdraft, and they've got some problems for 1976.
Well, it mightn't have been a great exhibition of top-class football, but there's been plenty of things we can talk about in this game.
Well,
Bobby Boston. Hand passes over. Chris Kellett makes a mistake. It was an awkward ball to pick up, though, around about the laces. Out of play.
That is the time on period, and it's 15-10-100 West Torrens, 11-7-73. West Adelaide, West Torrens, the victors in this game. Time on only to play.
Ball kicked away. Hewitt. Centre wing, Bobby Loveday. Number 1, and of course tomorrow you'll see him at 12 o'clock, and he's the man that asked for the count. So
asked for it twice.
We'll ask him just what really did happen. He should know. Wallace over there. Wallace spins himself away. He's had I'd say he'd been beaten by Michael Burns this afternoon, but he hasn't given up trying, as he never ever does give up trying. Little kick away by Lynn Filkey. Joe Humphreys has stood back and just let Filkey take it through. Thank you. Lynn Filkey appreciates that gesture. Back it goes. Behind Trevor Grimwood. Kicks clear. Richard Mano. Play on. Mano forces it clear. Terry,
well done,
Freddie Bills crashes through it. Booming kick. One of the biggest kicks I've ever seen Billsy kick.
Well done, Fred Mills. Dwelled his time, grabbed that ball, knocked the player over him. Typical Fred Mills fashion, got his kick.
What a wonderful way for Freddie Bills to go. And he's come on the ground, he's played 313 games, and West Torrens have risen to the occasion and won against West Adelaide. They'll win, and at Thebarton Oval, as the ball is kicked away by Bobby Boston over towards Pabst. Pabst bouncing forward on the half-forward flank. Had a bad day this afternoon, though his second half has been much better. Here's a player that's one of West Adelaide's best players this afternoon, Jim Buckley. Never stopped trying, 15 metres against West Torrens Pavlik.
3 goals he's kicked in, and well, I don't think he'll kick a goal. It's a bit too far out. He's a nice kick.
Nice action. Fall a couple of metres short. Big gurney up, couldn't take it. And through goes Scott White for a force behind for West Adelaide.
15-10-100 West Torrens, 11 goals, 8 West Adelaide. Only seconds remaining. Short pass in defence, it doesn't matter.
Folletic away from centre half back up towards centre wing, finds Mano. knocked away from him at the last. And there's a lot of players on one leg here, an obvious shove in the back. And West Adelaide player number 13, Jeff Morris, will get the free kick. Plays on into the forward pocket. Cousins is the player in front. Gurney has the ball, plays it on. That's probably the best thing that could have happened to him, because he might snap one. Oh. No, it looked as though it was touched across the line, whereas before, when he had a set shot from 12 metres out at a psychological time for West Adelaide, he missed.
Well, you know the mistakes, and West Adelaide have made them. They've done everything in the book today. They've tried the rough stuff. They've tried the short pass. They've played unfit players. They've called for a count for 19 men on the ground, and I believe they were quite right when they called for it. They've dealt out plenty of bloody hard stuff, but oh dear.
McKenzie kicking it away after taking the kicking from Pavlich. It's taken by Stevenson, one of their hard tries today, West Adelaide. He's done quite well at centre half back. Kicks to the full forward spot, looking for Gurney again. Big chappy can't quite pull it down. West Adelaide player there playing for the free kick in Hewitt. Snaps at the goal and through for 1 point from the boot of Glenn Hewitt, and that would give him 4 goals 2 for the day.
15-10, 100 West Torrens, and West Adelaide are 76 points. And no problem at all, and nobody worrying about this game at all. West Torrens know they've won it. 4 minutes of time on have been played. Kick out from defence.
Pavlik's kick out. Norm Dare over there couldn't take the mark. Has he touched it before it's gone out of play? I suggest he has. Outer side of the oval. Torrens 15 goals 10. West Adelaide 11-10, 4 goals up. Freddie Bills, number 15. He's worn that number for 313 games, and this is his final. Kept the pressure on Loveday then as he kicked it forward. Scott Wright. Useful game. He stuck to his task solidly all afternoon. See what he does with this. Drives it clear. Dare over there. One hand. Experienced footballer, you'd think he'd go up with 2.
It's certainly going to be very interesting tomorrow in our Sunday show to find out exactly what did happen out there in the centre, because honestly we can't work it out. The count was definitely on. There were 19 West Torrens players on the ground, or there certainly appeared to be, with the injured Casson having treatment just inside the boundary line, and the reserve had come on. And the umpire at one stage, here's Folletic putting them forward, one stage looked as though he was going to make a count, and then appeared later to change his mind. Whether West Adelaide didn't want to go on with it, but we'll be finding out tomorrow. Down to the forward pocket and picking it up here is Joe Humphrey, who has had a shocking day. Gives it over, finds Burns. Burns from centre half back up to the midfield position to Loveday. Gets a burst from the crowd as he plays on down towards the half forward line. In front, Glenn Hewitt couldn't quite pull it down. Dabrowski ran into a hard one from Morris. He didn't know Morris was there, but found out soon enough. Picked up by Terry Paps, gives it back to Hewitt. Hewitt snuck it around the corner. That was good football, because he saw Bobby Boston waiting for that one, and Boston will have a set shot from about 25-30 metres at the outside, right in front. But it's only of academic interest. We've had 6 minutes of time on. West Adelaide could advance their score to 12-10 if he kicks it. And that is in fact just what they've done, but West Torrens leading 15-10, only seconds remaining. Comment Wally May.
Bobby Boston, the reserve, puts it straight through the centre of one of the strangest games of football you're ever likely to see. Don't miss the replay, it's amazing. Freddie Bills' last game will go down and always be remembered as one of the oddest games I've ever seen. Hard, rough football, 19 men on the ground, players going down like 9 pins. Umpire Bennett not knowing whether to count and then deciding that he shouldn't, because there's going to be all sorts of trouble. Players trying to run off the ground when the 19 men were there. You name it, it's happened.
We wonder too what redress West Adelaide would have if in fact Bennett did refuse to count the players. I mean, what could they do about it?
Well, it means a position in the 5, and all sorts of things happen then. Not that it'll make any difference that this West Adelaide side could not worry the good sides at all.
Knocked away there by the man in defence for West Adelaide, number 32, is Lee Ravick. Close to the line, out of play. Kenny Deards was the player that went over. Alan Folletic gives him an affectionate pack. Deards. Ball back into play. 7 minutes of time on. Of course, we had a long break because of that count. But there's the siren. Keep your eye on Freddie Bills. Final score at the Thebarton Oval. West Torrens 15 goals 10. 100 exactly. West Adelaide 12-10, 82. A good victory for West Torrens. 7 minutes of time on. Of course, we had a long break because of that count. But there's the siren. Keep your eye on Freddie Bills. Final score at the Thebarton Oval. West Torrens 15 goals 10. 100 exactly. West Adelaide 12-10, 82. A good victory for West Torrens. And there's Freddie Bills, the man that's played 313 games, second only to Lindsay Head. Today he retires, and he's getting a very, very much deserved and earned round of applause from the big crowd that have come down here to see the great Freddie Bills.
And around at the Oval too, and I'm sure Freddie would be the first to appreciate that if in fact he'd stayed up there. And I was only thinking a moment ago,
I wouldn't like the job of carrying him. He's always been a solid, strong boy, and they've got him up again, and it's good to see Fred Bills has earned this, and the crowd giving him a good ovation, and it's tremendous to see West Torrens win this match for Freddie Bills, and that's exactly what they've done on their home ground. It's only the second for the year, and they really wanted to win it. West Adelaide, on the other hand, after some amazing upsets in the game, gave it away completely, and they've lost this game by 3 goals.
Dirk Inglis is in fact the player who's taking most of the weight of Freddie Bills as he comes off the ground. Just repeating that final score here at Thebarton, West Torrens 15-10, 100 points defeated West Adelaide, 12 goals 10, 82, gave West Torrens their second win of the year. In fact, 2 wins in a row, the last week against Central Districts, and of course that looks like finish for West Adelaide's chance of making the final 5 in 1975. You've been viewing on Channel 9, commentators Wally May, Ian Aitken and Max Hall.